Hi, friends. Welcome back. I first just want to say thank you to everyone who's been tuning in each week for my Slow Sip Sunday and these words of wisdom that I've been including in these videos. This is now my fourth one, so I've been doing this for 4 weeks now, and it just really means a lot that some of you are taking the time out of your day to slow down with me. My hope with these little reflections is that they help someone through a tough moment, or at very least remind you that we're all human. We may not share the exact same days or the experiences throughout our days, but we can definitely relate to the meaning behind these words of wisdom that I share in these videos. And sometimes we just need a reminder that we're not alone in these ups and downs of life. So, with that being said, this week's word of wisdom is resilient. And honestly, the word kind of showed up right at the start of my week. So, as you saw earlier in this clip, Saturday morning, I popped one of my tires. And of course, it had to be one of my winter tires. And with all wheel vehicles, you can't just replace one tire. So, for a moment, I was definitely stressed. We're in March in Colorado, and there's still plenty of time for snow. So, I wanted my snow tires, but at the same time, I didn't want to replace all four because I don't have the funds for that at this moment. You know, those moments where your brain immediately starts thinking about the cost, the inconvenience, the time that's going to take, and everything else that might come with it was happening in that moment. But thankfully, we were able to get my summer set of tires on the car, so it ended up actually being a pretty easy solution. It just wasn't how I expected it to be and how I expected to spend my day. It definitely made for a long Sunday, and because of that, I got a little behind on everything else in the house: cooking, cleaning, laundry, all my normal weekend stuff that had to wait. But here's the thing: I didn't let that moment take over my whole week, and that's where the word resilient really comes in. Resilience isn't about having a perfect week. It's about what you do after something unexpected happens. Life is always going to throw little curveballs at us, sometimes big ones, sometimes small ones, but those moments don't have to define the rest of our day or our week. So instead of letting that stressful moment carry into everything else this week, I just kept moving forward. And honestly, the rest of the week turned out really well, especially compared to last week. I definitely felt a lot more sharp minded and clear. I was able to get a lot accomplished at work this week. Just feeling really productive made everything better. Now, we're going to be in the process of moving into a bigger house, so I was able to get through a lot of clutter, clean the house, and get rid of stuff. And that actually felt really good. There's something really satisfying about cleaning out the house. But by the end of the week, I felt really proud of how much I had gotten done. And sometimes a week can start off a little rough, but that doesn't mean it still can't turn into a really good week. So, me and my son were actually reading one of his library books that he picked out this week called Lovely Day. It's inspired by the song Lovely Day by Bill Withers. And reading that together was just a really nice way to slow down and end the week. It was one of those simple moments that reminds you that even after a stressful start to the week, there still can be really good moments mixed in. And that's resilience. It's adjusting when things don't go the way you planned, it's solving the problem. And it's not letting one tough moment decide how the rest of your week is going to go. Right now we're also getting closer to spring break for the kids, which is always a little bit of excitement, but can be stressful as well since I work from home. But you could just feel that shift in energy when everyone is looking forward to a break and a little time together. So if something unexpected pops up in your week too, maybe the lesson isn't about avoiding those moments, because honestly, that's just life. Maybe the lesson is about how we move forward after them. Sometimes resilience simply means continuing forward, even when the week didn't start the way you planned. Life isn't always smooth, but weeks like this remind me that we're stronger and more capable than sometimes we give ourselves credit for. A rough moment doesn't mean a rough week, so slow down and take the sip. Until next time, keep going, stay resilient, and see you next Sunday. Bye.